What's happening with niggas? Welcome back to another episode of the Real Rap Coalition podcast. Today we're going to be doing a segment of Crash Course. This is going to continue over at least the next 3 weeks because we got 3 movies that we're going to watch. We watched one of them already, which is Austin Powers. We're going to be reviewing the series of Austin Powers. But before we get into all of that, let's go ahead and introduce everybody. My name is Black Roots. Who else we got in the building?
Danger is my middle name.
I thought he was gonna say something else. What's your boy OG Trade, man? Back ready to crash course. You feel me?
I've been listening to the Saw episodes recently.
Yeah.
And Trey definitely just kept, like, anytime he was entrusted to tell the people what this shit was, he would always call it Crash Out. Like, every time without fail. To the point where I think it became a bit.
Which is funny because the first time
right now.
the first time niggas crashed out was definitely on the Saw episode.
Hey, Trey.
That shit a bit. It is. I'm glad you noticed. I'm doing that shit on purpose like hell.
Hey, Trey, that intro beat was clean or what?
I heard it before. I fuck with it.
Hey, man.
Wait till you hear my intro for Friday podcast. I ain't gonna hold you. They got a mean ass intro for that, huh?
Y'all don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share it with your friends, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to get into this. So this was
we
actually...
watched 10 fucking Saw movies, man. We watched 10 fucking Saw movies, did the Crash Course, went on a hiatus for a while. Now we back on our shit, man. You know what I'm saying? We finna start going through these Crash Courses again. You know, we're going to keep doing the weekly podcast. We're going to try to get that nostalgia glass of shit back popping. You know, we got a bunch of ideas, man. Y'all stay tuned. It's a whole lot on the way. Go ahead, Roots.
But yeah, I wanted to start this with a question, and I'll answer the question first. What was the first time y'all remember watching this movie? Now, the first time I remember watching the Austin Powers movie was actually the third one. And I remember my homie Mike Diggs, rest in peace, Mike Diggs. We was young. We was way too young to be even watching this shit. And his folks, I ain't gonna lie, his folks had bread. So like that was the first time I had seen a fucking DVD player in the car. And I thought that shit was lit as fuck. It came with headphones and everything. So we was riding with his folks or whatever, and they had to hop out the car and go in the store or whatever. We stayed in the store, and he was like, "Hey, bro, I'm gonna put this movie on." And he put the movie on, and it was Goldmember, the third Austin Powers. And I was like, this shit clean. I ain't gonna lie, like this shit funny as hell. And then slowly I, ventured off to try to find the other ones on my own. I think this one I ended up watching with my cousin or something like that. But that was the first time I was introduced to Austin Powers. What about y'all?
I think that if I went to my dad's house right now, where I grew up, I'm pretty sure I could still find the DVD that I owned of Goldmember. I watched that hoe so many times growing up, bro, because like I don't know, man. I think most people know about the third one the most. I don't know if that's because like
that hoe got Beyonce in it.
Maybe I thought about that, but like it also might just be the fact that this hoe came out in 97.
Mm-hmm.
I was 2 years old. You know what I'm saying? So the third one came out sometime in the 2000s. I was kind of old enough and cognizant enough to be out there watching some shit and, deciding what I'm watching. So I think that it might have just been like an age thing that was just some shit that was popping around our time.
Right.
But that was definitely, I don't remember how old I was, but I know I was like roughly a teenager or so.
What about you, Trey?
it's funny, man. We all have a very similar experience because my introduction to Austin Powers was also during Gold Member, which is kind of funny because like y'all literally just like ran my entire answer down right there. It's like it had Beyonce in it, bro. I was 10. Like I went to see Beyonce. You feel me?
Hell
Like
yeah.
she, I think I was 10 when I saw it. I think it came out in '02, and I probably didn't see it right in '02, but I was 9 in '02, so I'm pretty sure I was like around 10 when I saw that. And you know, Beyonce is that bitch, especially for a 10-year-old, my nigga. So like, I had to
He
see
didn't
that.
really act like that neither, you know.
Yeah, for sure. But who cares? He had that big ass throat and that fat ass. So,
But that's what I'm talking
I
about.
was
Like,
too
I think
stupid.
this was like a novelty. Like, oh, Beyonce in a movie.
You
I
feel
get,
me?
you know.
But I mean, it made me laugh when it was just like they kept making so many like innuendo ass dick references, and I was just like, this movie's fucking ridiculous. You feel me? It was like you get the Gold Member, so I thought that was funny enough that I went back and watched what was innately named The Spy Who Shagged Me. So I was like, okay, they're gonna have a lot of dick jokes in this too. So that was kind of the thing.
Man, that boy Trey has predicated his Austin Powers fandom off just, man, they had some clean ass dick humor in this house.
Yeah, I'm talking about them hoes was slick as hell. I'm like, why he keep calling? Like, and then he really broke out the Gold Member. We gonna get to that though. But yeah, that was my introduction to this shit, and then I ended up just kind of working my way back. So I actually saw this one, the first one, last, believe it or not.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This one, it took me a while after. Like, I was probably closer to being grown by the time I saw this one because, like I say, I had watched Gold Member a bunch, and you know, I had probably seen The Spy Who Shagged Me at least 1 or 2 times, but I didn't see this shit, you know, until like I was like, okay, I just want to watch the whole series. I never saw it as its own thing. It was during a viewing of the series, you know, and I think that makes sense, you know. Because, well, we'll get into everybody's feelings about this shit, but I don't think this is just the best movie of the series, you know. But I think it's good. I think it's essential, you know.
Yeah, I think it kickstarted something that turned into something. Go ahead.
Before we get into all of those things, I wanted to address this shit. Trey, you looking at the screen?
You know about this shit?
Yeah, so people also asked, what did Joseph's son do? In 2011, he was sentenced to 7 years to life in prison in California for torture committed during a 1990 gang rape. After beating his cellmate Michael Thomas Graham to death, he was sentenced to an additional 27 years for voluntary manslaughter. He's now serving 34 to life. This mugshot is circa 2008. Damn.
Yeah, so this nigga Odd Jobs was doing some odd jobs,
bro. That motherfucker. Boy, let me tell y'all something. I read online, like I read some shit where somebody was like, "Hey man, can you imagine the fear like that Mike Myers felt whenever this shit, like he found out about this shit and he realized that."
Bro, I did a whole movie with 2 movies with this nigga, bro.
No, not that. He was strangling me on the fucking set. Like it could have been over with right there, bro. Like he snapped.
He had that murder shit in him back then.
I don't think we highlighting like what they're highlighting enough. Gang rape is crazy.
No, well, I've read about like this whole
hold on.
Which is also 7 years before the filming of the first movie. So like,
this is not.
Why we just now?
No, this is underselling it. Let me tell you, he got off with some other rapes that had like gone past the statute of limitations, bro. He got exonerated of other rapes, or at least not charged within an adequate time frame of differing rapes.
That nigga just kept doubling back to the same crime. He was like, I'm
really gonna go read this hoe.
Away with this shit.
I ain't gonna hold you.
If I go to page pulled up right now, let me go read
this. Some Bill Cosby shit. Because if I got to go to prison for a bitch I raped 20 years ago, it's gonna be some beef. That's crazy. Like I raped you 20 years ago. Like get over it. Like what are you talking about?
Get over it is crazy.
Because what are you mad about? It was 20 years ago. And it was the gang. Like it ain't like it was just me. Like we all did that shit. Like what are you like? Yeah, can you chill? Like
hey, Trey,
serious ass bitch.
I'm finna go down. I'm finna give a synopsis. I'm on the Wikipedia page right now, bro. So this motherfucker, he was arrested for kicking in the door of his roommate's car. He pled guilty to felony vandalism May 16, 2008. He was sentenced to probation and 60 days in jail.
Wait. Rewind. kicking in the door to a car.
A
Car door is
yeah.
open outward.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
assume that it's through the window. I assume he kicked the window in.
Cause that's crazy, my nigga. You kick the door into it. Nigga, car doors don't open that
They
way.
gave him 60 days in jail, Trey. He was
Did-
in August. He was taken into custody, given an additional 90 days due to a probation violation, failing to report and keep him informed and shit. As a condition of the original plea, he was required to provide a DNA sample. In early October, his DNA sample was linked to a gang rape on Christmas Eve, bro. It was Christmas Eve. They was raping hoes, bro. Like,
That's an odd time to do that.
he was in custody already. And let's see, he was charged with 5 counts of rape, 2 felony counts of forcible sodomy, 2 felony counts of sodomy in concert by force, 7 felony counts of forcible oral copulation, and 1 felony count of sexual penetration by foreign object by force. He faced a maximum sentence of 275 years to life.
Sounds about right. Okay, wait. So, is he like a demigod or something?
Trey,
Nah, he not.
No, I'm asking because
give me 2 seconds, bro.
Go ahead, bro.
This motherfucker, the woman, they put the woman on the stand, and she said that Buddy told her it's Christmas. This your lucky day.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I ain't gonna hold you,
bro. He is a demon, bro.
He made a bitch bring in Christmas with his nuts,
bro. He is a demon, boy.
He only like that with females, bro. Look at this shit.
But hold on, before you dive in, they gave him 275
look at this
to
nigga,
life,
bro.
right?
This nigga was a
no. He was just facing that hoe.
Damn, that nigga getting beat up.
Yeah, he used to fight too. He
that
lost.
He got all L's.
Yeah, he lost.
That nigga's getting beat up. Oh my god, he's 5'4", 240. Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
240.
He only like that. He only like that with
talking
females.
about the fact that one of the actors in this hoe is absolutely insane. He was an evil demon.
5'4", 240 is crazy. But now, like Pete, you said they gave him 275 years to life, bro. But I'm saying, like, how is 275 years shorter than life?
This nigga's getting beat the fuck up.
Shit.
That's what I get getting 25 to life. Like, there's a gap in between those two. There's no gap in between 275 and life.
Well,
life comes first.
Since it's like, all right, 275 years or life, whichever comes first, you know?
Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure the life is going to come first. You seen any 275-year-old niggas lately?
Maybe they all in prison.
Yeah, that's crazy. Prison got extended life sentences like that.
Like I say, I'm not going to keep reading about all this shit, but y'all can go online and find this shit if y'all want to. But this motherfucker is an absolute demon, boy. And he done killed his cellmate in jail, got some more time. Like,
So I come here to listen to an Austin Powers recap, and he was talking about rape. Well, sorry to disappoint you, but when OG Trey is here, CEO of No Means Yes Incorporated, we're going to talk about rape. That's how
what
that
the
goes.
NMY stands for right there, Roots.
Absolutely. No means yes. So we're going to talk about rape. That's mandatory.
But
without further ado, I mean, he walked right into that. I ain't gonna, I didn't think I was gonna get the segue into that. I set it up. Clearly, I set it up from a mile away, but I didn't think I was gonna get the segue into that like that. I appreciate you, Pujols.
Oh my god,
that was Pujols' fault, man.
Yeah, he opened the door for that one. I appreciate you. That was a home run. Jesus,
but
opened the door for
that on the serve, that nigga had mad time to do other shit before he went ahead and sent it across the net, and it still hit.
Come on, bro. I set that hole up 15 minutes ago, and it hit like a truck. God, I love it. But no,
that boy Trey gonna name himself Joe's son.
Come on, man. Oh my God. Yes. You'll never listen to that shit.
Hey, but yeah, so with that being said, let's actually talk about the movie. 1997, man. Austin Powers is a secret agent, a spy, you know, and a motherfucker really like clean as hell. You get your introduction, you know, he's like photographing shit. He's doing a dance in the street, you know, hoes love him, you know, motherfuckers want to be him, all type of shit, man. And Dr. Evil, that's his, his evil arch nemesis and shit. And that motherfucker just can't seem to kill this dude. He keeps hiring all these assassins and shit, and nobody's getting the job done. So he starts cleaning house, and he keeps two of them around and said, "All right, it's time to get rid of this motherfucker." Nope, doesn't work, man. Motherfucker's at a party, and a bitch pops up to, I guess, give him a drink. I think it was like try to offer
That
him a
bitch
drink
got socked in the teeth.
Yeah, he socked that bitch square in the face. And Mrs. Kensington, shout out to Mrs. Kensington. She's there and she's like, "Oh, Austin, you're tripping." He said, "Nah, that ain't no woman. It's a man." And just pulled the wig off, and it was a whole dude. That shit is sick. I don't know like how that falls on the spectrum of weirdos, being that I don't think there was any sexual nature to it. I mean,
he was
they were
there
just
to
trying
do
to
a
get a
job. He
job done.
sucked at his fucking job, but he was there to do a job. That was just
I'm just saying, like you still dressed as a woman, freak. But
yeah, he most definitely a freak ass nigga.
You know what I'm saying? So
I think that
Austin,
shit wouldn't go over so bad these days.
Most definitely. In fact, Austin these days, if Austin did that, that's a hate crime.
Well, Austin,
I agree.
like within these movies, like I don't think people realize like Austin Powers is low key a pretty good standing moral individual. Like he's like a hippie sex freak or whatever, but a motherfucker is real understanding of like gay people and trans people and consent laws and all types of shit.
I don't know what
man.
the fuck you pandering to right now, but I mean,
I'm not lying. I'm just telling you what I seen in the movie.
Yeah, you just said a whole lot of buzzwords that I ain't like just now.
I mean, I'm sorry, bro. These are people that exist. You can't act like they don't exist. But yeah, so
he's doing a bit.
Yeah, it's a bit. So he ends up going and thwarting this Dr. Evil plan, or at least he thinks he does. Dr. Evil locks himself in a cryogenic space pod and ships himself off into space and shit. And boom, from there, Austin goes and freezes himself because he knows that at one point, Dr. Evil finna come back and he's the only one that can stop that motherfucker. And he wakes back up in the 90s. They thaw him out because Dr. Evil's back. He's in a flying, like, Paws Big Boy that I think it's like a burger joint. I can't fully recall.
Yeah, it's a fucking burger joint. Way back then.
But, he's got a whole new plan where he's finna hold the world up for ransom with another wild, evil scheme and shit. So they thaw out Austin Powers, and he gets to, run through the 90s with Miss Kensington's daughter, Vanessa. And
let's go back to the thawing out shit.
Okay.
Bruh, that super long
piss.
Time he took the piss, bro. I remember that shit being the funniest shit ever, bro. I swear to God, I used to rewind that shit and just die laughing, bro.
I think that it's just like the comedic selling point of that shit is that motherfucker just every time he says thawing, that shit
like
was
that
funny
motherfucker
as fuck. Just keeps getting cut off, dog.
I think it's interesting.
What's up?
They had cryogenic technology back in like the 60s, where he's actually from, that froze him into the 90s. Nigga, we still don't have that shit. Like, it's 2024. And I don't think it's this effective.
I'm just saying, Walt Disney is frozen somewhere, bro.
Yeah, he's not coming back. That nigga's out of here.
Hell no, because
all these black people with fucking rights and shit, he don't want to come back.
He was waiting until them Jews got gone, and they ain't never going nowhere.
Oh yeah, he fucked up. He gonna be so mad when they unthaw him.
Ain't gonna be shit left.
Hey, Trey, they gonna
find out a nigga
ran
ran this country at one point.
They gonna unthaw him and beat the shit out of him.
He gonna go back to sleep. Nah, bro, just put me back under, bro.
Nah, Roots. The Jews gonna find him and they gonna thaw him out and beat the fuck out of him. Like,
that's a fact. Whoever froze him might end up selling that company to some Jews. He gonna be cooked.
He gonna be pissed, boy.
It ain't. I'm gonna keep it a buck, Trey. I don't think it's nobody rich. Well, I'm not gonna say nobody, but it's not many people rich enough to buy Disney, bro.
I don't think you know how much money Jews got.
I don't know. Hold on. Disney also owns ESPN. Which
Disney owns a lot of shit, bro.
And that trickles down to all the athletes and shit. So he might feel a sense of power owning a bunch of niggas. He might stay alive just for that concept.
Somebody thaw him out, bro. See what it's about. See what he's talking about.
They're gonna get that nigga right together.
But
what the fuck is this LeBron James character I'm hearing about?
Fucking LeBron.
Oh yeah, black billionaire. He gonna kill himself.
That I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. Mrs. Kensington was kind of bad.
It's fine as shit.
And Vanessa was fire too. Like,
old Mrs. Kensington. Mrs. Kensington was fire.
British genetics, you know.
Has clean ass teeth on her. Shit.
Yeah.
Speaking of teeth, this nigga Austin Powers shit is wretched.
Yeah, he was like, bro. One thing I've always said about Austin Powers is it's really insane. Like, he is an absolutely disgusting, repugnant human being, bro. That motherfucker has some horrible ass teeth. He got a mop ass haircut. He got like a horrendous amount of like chest and stomach hair and all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he does like all the shit to repulse, but them hoes love him, boy.
That's how niggas looked in the 70s. He average as hell in the 70s. All the niggas look like that.
Nah,
that's like a standard nigga around that time.
You got to get you some Colgate, bro. That nigga was the first nigga with the yuck mouth. That shit looked crazy.
She tried to give him that hoe, and he was like, all right, I get it. My teeth are fucked, man. Like, he got pissed. Like, damn, it ain't my fault, dude.
Nigga, how you walk around smelling your own breath all day and you not offended by yourself?
I mean, I'm going to be honest. Like, he, you know, it wasn't even really that his teeth was dirty. Them hoes was just like they.
Nah, them hoes was dirty,
up,
bro.
Boy. Them hoes
was dirty
and crooked.
That nigga had a shade of brown and green on his shit, bro. How the fuck ain't enough coffee in the world?
I'm just saying that I think the primary issue was the structure rather than the.
Oh, his shit throwing up gang signs for real.
You know, but yeah, that motherfucker. I will shout this out too. You know, motherfucker is playing the villain and the hero of the movie. So shout out to.
Was he the first person to do that?
Maybe. I mean, that's.
Shout out Mike Myers. Yeah, that's actually super clean. I don't think he get enough credit for that.
Mm-hmm.
And like, might have introduced some shit.
Well, we'll get into it at another time.
Hell, how many people have done it?
Well, beyond this, he like did the whole. It's the same shit as like Eddie Murphy. That motherfucker went on like with later movies and played multiple characters.
Yeah, I seen Eddie Murphy be like 6 niggas in one movie.
Like, I know all.
I think that might
Mike
be
Myers is at least 4 in Austin Powers. No, he's 5.
He's himself. I mean, not himself. Austin Powers. He's Dr. Either. He's Fat Bastard.
He's Gold Member.
He's Gold Member.
He's Gold Member.
Nah, you lying. He's not no fucking Gold
Man, I'm telling you.
I never fucking knew that shit. Bro, I can barely see it as him with him being Dr. Evil. Like, I was looking the whole time, like, they did some makeup on this nigga,
bro. He is clean as hell. Like, he's dirty as fuck, but he's clean as hell. But yeah, so you know, he like a lot of this movie. I don't even think we really need to just like talk about the plot points because a lot of this movie. Is just like it's different jokes and gags and whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
One of my favorite ones was definitely the interaction between Dr. Evil and Scott. Shout out Seth Green. That shit is funny as hell, bro. That nigga popped up. He's like, I'm your dad. He's like, you never been here. I hate you. He's like, give me a hug. What do you mean?
Yeah,
give you a hug?
He's like,
get away from me.
Lame. He says, I'm cool.
Get away from me. Get away from you, lazy-eyed creep.
They in there, like, bro, he's sitting there giving that long ass speech to the counseling group and shit, talking about like getting his shit shaved by a fucking whatever the hell that person was, like
religiously.
Yeah, that motherfucker's sitting there and like finally that bitch was like, all right, we have to stop now. Like that motherfucker. But yeah, like no, that shit is hilarious. You know what I'm saying? They like Austin gets thawed out and he's getting he's getting his shit back and they got the sex joint and he says, that's not mine. And he just keeps pulling out different shit. Oh yeah, like this is the deed. This is the warranty. Here's a book that says that is indeed my bag, man. Like pulling the fuck out him, boy.
That nigga's a sex pest, bro.
Danger is my middle
That nigga
name.
had a dick pump, yo. Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, bro, that motherfucker's
Yeah,
out
you
there.
gotta chill out with that.
And
That's
then
crazy.
hey, bro, he's finna leave and shit. And Buddy like holds that bitch up. He's like, hey, Austin. He's like, yeah, hurry up, just put it in the bag, put it in the fucking bag. Like,
Another one of my favorite ones. Shout out Will Ferrell playing. What was that? What was that nigga's name?
Mustafa.
Mustafa, bro.
That
That shit is so
so
goddamn funny, bro. He
Fuck.
fucking goes in the fire. It seems like he burned the fuck up, right? That nigga said, "Can somebody help me, please?" It's been a good 30 seconds since he dropped down there. He's supposed to be burnt up to a crisp, and this nigga's just alive and just in a lot of fucking pain.
Bro.
Dr. Evil continuously trying to go on with his fucking plan and shit, and he just interrupting with his agonist screeches of pain and shit. And then they finally go down there and shoot his dumb ass.
No,
they
bro.
had to shoot him twice.
Yeah,
this is the first time they shot him in the arm.
Motherfucker, you just hear bang, and he says, you shot me in the arm. Why would you not shoot? And then he shoots him like that motherfucker just went out there, shot him in the arm, and he just looked at it for a second like, hey, man, what the fuck?
Nigga came down there to put you out of your misery and put you in more misery.
Put you in more agony.
This nigga burnt up. He probably fucking hurt his head because he definitely fell backwards. Probably hit his head and shit. He burnt the fuck up. Did all that just to get shot in the arm too.
Somebody can open this hatch. I can climb out of here. Like,
nigga was down there fucked up, boy.
Bro, that scene is so fucking funny, dog. But like, I ain't gonna lie, man. Austin was trying to shoot his shot at Vanessa, and that bitch wasn't fucking with him for a long time.
The fuck out of his dumb ass.
That motherfucker, like, he put on the little spinning bed and all type of shit. That motherfucker said, it's turbulence. He's falling all on this hoe. That bitch said she ain't never gonna fuck him, even if they the last two people. And the human race got to survive off the strength of them fucking.
Yeah, she said all that.
Going.
She said all that. She said, I ain't going, and then she went.
She indeed did. She indeed did went. You are correct. But that motherfucker, and then you had you had number 2 and a lot of vagina. You know what I'm saying? At the fucking.
And they continue that bit throughout the series of the movies with the weird ass names and shit.
Because that's a real thing. Like, obviously, for those that don't know, Austin Powers is a parody of James Bond. You know, and in James Bond, there are a lot of sex puns as the women's fucking names and shit. Like, that's a real thing that they did.
I did not know that. I started watching the James Bond movie. I forget which one it was, and I just never finished that.
The movies are pretty alright. They're pretty clean. I ain't gonna lie to you. But yeah. So like that, he's sitting there at the blackjack table and shit. That motherfucker is cheating, man. He got an X-ray eye patch and shit, and he's sitting there. He like ends up hitting 21. He's talking about it. He says, "You're at 17, sir." He says, "I like to live dangerously." Flips the card. Oh yeah, you got 21. He gives Austin his cards. He says 5. He said, "I'll stay." He said, "Sir, I suggest you hit." He said, "I also like to live dangerously." Stupid ass name. All right, I guess. He says, "Well, the 21 beats the 5, so you lose, sir." That motherfucker's an idiot, man.
I will say that this whole might have been star-studded. Like, it's not a lot of people that we know from other shit, but they got Seth Green, they got Will Ferrell, and I'm trying to find this other nigga, the nigga the nigga that he met in the bathroom right after that scene.
That cowboy dude?
Yeah, the cowboy dude. I've seen him in a lot of shit. I'm trying to find his fucking.
I don't even know who that was for real.
But
man. I know Seth Green and Will Ferrell and them weren't that lit back then. Like in 97,
oh no, most definitely.
Robot Chicken hadn't taken off. Without a Paddle hadn't come out. Will Ferrell hadn't done most of the shit that he ended up doing. You know,
yeah, I think that only might have been his like second or third movie. I know he was in Jay and Silent Bob. That came out around that time. He was also in this. I can't remember when I think his first movie. That was like after 2000. But his first movie was that Night at the Roxbury. That was his very first one where he like played a main role.
Mm-hmm.
We need to review that hoe. That shit funny as a bitch.
Bro, that motherfucking that dude and then like Austin ended up pulling up on that bitch later on, and that bitch folded real quick. That
You
fucking
talking about the
Italian.
lot of vagina bitch?
Yeah, he kept calling that bitch the Italian bird and shit.
Which he really just kept calling her a thought to her face, and she ain't give a fuck.
He told Vanessa that bitch was the town bicycle. Everybody's had a ride on her.
And I swear that was the first time as a kid hearing that shit. And then I don't know how many times I fucking heard it after that. Like that shit was spammed a lot.
Yeah. And then like that, like Vanessa out there jealous and shit. She was like, did you have protection with you? He said, of course, I had my pistol with me. She says, no, I'm talking about a condom. He said, condoms are for sailors. Or he said, only sailors use condoms. She said, not anymore, Austin. This is the 90s. They said, well, they should. Those filthy bastards dock anywhere. Like, that shit is funny as a bitch, man.
They definitely had like a good bit of little puns and shit, the little Lucky Charm shit they did with the nigga,
that hoe was
the
fire.
fucking Scottish assassin. It was like, yeah, they're always after me Lucky Charms, and they start
why does everyone
giggling
laugh
and shit.
when I say that? Like, he said they really are.
Because you sound fucking goofy, nigga. It's a cereal.
That boy ain't
can't take you fucking seriously. First of all, you walk around with a damn bracelet with charms on it, and you call it your Lucky Charms. Without the fucking cereal pun, you still look like a fucking
you a grown ass man, bro. You a grown ass Irishman. Like,
damn, go drink and punch somebody. You fucking walk around strangling people with bracelets. What's wrong with you?
That shit is hilarious, bro. He tried to strangle that motherfucker in the bathroom, and buddy next to him thought he was just taking a mean ass shit.
That nigga said, grab hold of something, bite your lip, and give it hell.
he said, whoa, man, that sounds pretty nasty over there. Can we get a courtesy flush? And he kept he's talking him through it like that motherfucker's giving birth. He said, I'm here with you, buddy. We gonna make it through this, all right? Like,
I don't give a fuck how bad I'm going through it in the next stall. I don't know you, bro. Don't fucking talk to me,
bro. Like,
damn, I don't give a fuck if you know for a fact I'm being murdered. Stop talking to me through the fucking stall. You're being weird. And then you sit, it's like 5 stalls in here. You sit right next to me and say, hey, bro, give it hell. What the fuck?
That shit.
What's wrong with you? I don't know you, bro.
Hey, before that, Roots, he asked me, he said, are you at the show? He said, no, I'm English. Like, he thought he was a Siegfried and Roy type motherfucker. But yeah, man, that, like, bro, there's so many funny scenes in this movie, bro. Like I say, I think that this, to me, I can draw a parallel to what a thought that I had when I watched the Dark Knight trilogy, you know, and like, you don't realize until you watch some shit like this how much it influenced pop culture. You know, like, I'll watch some shit like this and I'll be like, oh fuck, like, so this is where a lot of this shit came from. Or like, man, the people say this shit frequently to this day or make reference to this. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact, John. That motherfucker was in that small ass car trying to turn around in that little ass hallway and shit. He just keeps running that bitch into the wall.
Hitting the wall and shit.
Man, and then them fembots, they thought they had something. Motherfucker put some cannons in bitches' titties. And Austin just went and freaked them. He freaked them hoes to where they head blew up and shit. The boy was in his drawers making them fucking female robots' heads blow up. But them hoes was bad.
Hey, I remember one of the most iconic scenes in this shit is the fucking shush scene between Dr. Evil and Scott. That's bro.
What I thought you were gonna talk about earlier when you were talking about that Scott shit. Like,
bro, that shit too fucking funny, bro. He just and it's simple as fuck. He's like, shh, but Dad, I could just shh before you even start.
He says, I have a gun in my room right now. Like, he said, I can go get it. We'll shoot them, then we'll go get ice cream.
And I don't,
goofy, man.
Motherfuckers say that like Hollywood is like super tough and all this other shit. You can't tell me these niggas wasn't pissed about them holding the shit out of every like spy movie trope. He said, wait, you're not gonna watch them die? He said, no, I'm gonna leave them by themselves and assume that it goes through. What's the problem with that? And that's literally everything that you've seen from back in the day, whether it be cartoon or fucking Johnny what's the motherfucker's name?
Johnny Quest.
Yeah, of all of them shits, fucking James Bond, any fucking Looney Tune thing when they have some shit like that, it's always the same shit. I'm gonna set you up to die, and I'm gonna leave and assume that you fucking go through,
bro. And he's sitting there telling Scott, like, he's like, you just don't get it, Scott. You just don't get it. Like, what the fuck? Oh no, man. That shit, like, that bitch had him swinging across a gap from some damn dental floss and shit.
Yeah, just stupid shit.
just asinine, man.
I tell you what, I definitely used to judo chop people in fucking
that boy,
like middle school.
Boy was using that judo, dog. That motherfucker was judo chop, judo trip, all that shit. I don't want to scrap with him.
That nigga, that chop is efficient, bro. He gonna hit an artery with that bitch.
Yeah,
lock your whole shit up.
They had they had the little concert performance from Mr. Burt Bacharach and shit, you know what I'm saying? That boy
I skipped through that.
That motherfucker was singing the soul to that bitch, man. But in my opinion, like the funniest scene in this movie to me, dog, after the fucking all the conflict is resolved supposedly or whatever, and they're in the hotel room and shit chilling, and that motherfucker random task pops back up. he pops the fucking lid off that deal, throws that shoe and smokes Austin in the face. That boy Austin got pissed. He says, ouch, you idiot. He said, who throws a shoe?
You fight like a woman.
He said, you fight like a woman. He said, I'm gonna have a knot there, you idiot. Like,
that nigga was pissed. That was a hard heel shoe too, yeah, bro. You know that shit had to hurt like a bitch.
He was just standing there looking at him like, yeah, hey, I hit you in the face with a dress shoe. What you finna do about it?
What you gonna do about it, bitch?
Bro, that shit was the funniest shit. Like the last time I watched this movie before this, I probably rewound that part like 2 or 3 times when it was happening. Boy, I was damn near crying. I was laughing so hard, dog. Because that shit, like I say, that right there is a thing that they make a callback to in like some of the other movies. And I was like, oh shit, this has a precedent to it. I was like, man, this shit is so funny, dog.
But yeah, man. I think we pretty much.
I was about to say, like most of this is just like listing comedic bits, but that's really what this shit is about, man. Like this whole is a comedy movie. It's a parody, and like there's not a whole lot of like character development to fucking analyze. I do think I think that it's like a thing that I made reference to earlier. I think that it's very telling that even Austin Powers, the most detrimentally horny man in film and shit, that bitch was popping bottles and drinking and shit. And she was like, hey, she was trying to throw some pussy at him, and he was like, hey, like, I'm not finna fuck you. You're drunk.
Nigga was mad admirable.
Yeah, like the motherfucker was like, he was like, hey, like, you don't know what you, because like, especially if a bitch had told me all this shit, like, I'll never fuck you and this and that, like, and she tried to like throw me some pussy now that she's drunk, hell no. Like, what the fuck?
I'm damn sure that's going down in notes for to come up later on.
Man, that shit.
Soon as she say some sideways shit, yeah, you remember how you first said you'll never fuck me, and then you was throwing ass at me? Yeah, don't talk crazy like that. What the fuck wrong with you?
Man, that motherfucker had he was an upstanding moral gentleman, so salute to him. Yeah, but other than that, I mean, like, other than the comedy aspects of it, I mean, there was like a part of, the character progression that like a motherfucker had to adjust from being in the 70s or, whatever, to being in the 90s and shit, and realize that like it's a different world, you know what I'm saying? He's trying to, he can't just be a swinger no more now that he done found a bitch that he likes.
Right.
you know, and I think that's fire, man. You know, if obviously I don't know if they had the trilogy planned out when they dropped the first one,
Mm,
but I think that if this like the movie had ended like this, if this was a standalone ending, I think that's a good, you know, that's a feel good ending and shit, you know. I think
yeah,
that would have been an enjoyable hour and a half that you could make reference to later, you know, and no harm, no foul. But
yeah,
yeah,
most definitely.
that's pretty much everything. You know, the movie ends, uh, and they look up into space, and Austin and Vanessa see that the fucking big boy is still flying in space and shit. Doctor Evil is frozen with his nasty ass naked cat. You know what I'm
So
saying?
fucking weird.
They're freezing in space and shit. So clearly it ain't over yet.
And
And
the
we'll see.
crash course ain't over either, man. We're gonna
Yeah,
be
we'll see
back.
what they get into, man.
We're gonna be back probably next week to do this. We might not even wait till next week. Whenever we got some free time, we definitely gonna go ahead and knock out the second one.
You want to rate this whole Roots?
I don't really think it needs a rating. I like kind of like how Pujols grades horrors on a curve. I kind of do the same thing with comedies. I will say that though it has funny moments, they kind of aged badly a little bit with just some of the jokes that they were making. It just kind of got played out when, you know, after you get stuff like Robot Chicken and fucking Family Guy and American Dad and now you South Park, fucking Rick and Morty and shit like that. The level of comedy has jumped substantially since fucking 97. So, you know, it's good to get a couple laughs, but I'm not gonna fucking go crazy and say that this is like some of the most hilarious shit ever. You know what I'm saying? It's funny. You know, I'll chuckle at some shit. I'll bust my ass laughing at other shit, but like I'm not gonna put this on a fucking a super high list along with shit like fucking I don't know Mr. D's or some shit like that. Like I'm not gonna do that much. So
I look at some shit like this, where like the curve that I will like grade it on is that it is very much a product of its time. You know, this shit right here. I know when this movie was made, so I'm a little bit more lenient, like in the department of the jokes. Like I said, I think there were a lot of like good creative writing bits. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? For the time, I think that they made a lot of like great jokes. Um, I I I don't think I would put it as like, you know, one of my favorites, but it's because it's more so like off of personal preference.
mm,
But I think like as a standalone objective work of art, I think that I don't think I have a problem with like how it aged, as long as I can like look at it through the lens of where that shit was.
right.
You know, I can appreciate this for what it is, and I think that that's all I needed it to be. You
Yeah,
feel me?
I think this is one of those things that if you grew up with it, then you know it's cool to spin back and watch it again every once in a while. But like, I'm not gonna put no young nigga on this shit. Like you mentioned, I think it was earlier today that like 2007 babies are now entering the workforce, which is absolutely insane. But
Mhm.
I'm not gonna put none of them onto this shit because you know, along with that list of things that or shows that have come out since then, and movies like fucking I don't know, Mr. Deeds or fucking The Mask, which was it came out back then, but you know, Ace Ventura, or you know, I'm trying to think of newer shit, but I really fucking can't. And I think it's just because we watched this old ass movie. All I can think about is old ass movies. But
Mhm.
it's been a lot of super cold comedy shit that's come out since then. And so I wouldn't expect somebody that young to really be able to jive with it like that. You know, but like I said, if you grew up with it, then cool. You know, it's one of those nostalgia moments that you can go back and uh if you're kicking it with your partners or whatever, and you throw it on, it can be going in the background. If you want looking for something, you know, chill to watch with your lady or whatever, you know, this is cool to put on. Uh, but you know, other than that, it's a cool, it's a alright movie, you know. But I'm like I said, I'm
I
not
would
going to
show
put
a
it super up
motherfucker
there.
some shit like this, you know, like for historical value, but I don't think I would be surprised if like they were like, I don't know, man, that's just not that funny to me. all right, I get it. It's a difference in eras, but I think it's good for historic value. Like I say, I personally, I'll rate a motherfucker. I think I probably would have gave this whole like an 8, 7.5 to an 8, but I'll say an 8. Like I think it's a very inoffensive movie, ironically enough. Like I can, like, I watched this whole, and there was nothing so detrimentally bad. There's nothing negative that I can say about it. It just didn't hit huge highs, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it's just a bit dated. But I think that Mike Myers did a bunch of clean shit in here. I think they had some attractive women, some good comedy, and it's less than an hour and a half long movie. So even if I like were to watch some shit like this and I wasn't feeling it, I wouldn't have felt like I wasted a crazy amount of my time either. You know what I'm saying? They got in there, got what they needed to get done, and then got out. And I appreciate that shit for real.
I will say, lastly, with this movie and movies like it, it's not just it's funny shit happening. They're saying like witty shit or funny shit. You know what I'm saying? With the play on words of the names and just certain things like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what this nigga was trying to post, but shout out to you. But yeah, like it was funny. It was funny writing. Like the comedic writing on it was on point, especially for back then. And I think it gets better with each movie. Especially with the third one. The third one, they fucking, I think the third one actually does better today than the first two, to be honest with you. Just because, and it's some of the same shit, but like they do it bigger in a way. So I think that's dope. And I actually can't wait to get through the other two of these and to get on the other Crash Course shit, man. But yeah, we're gonna pull it back up sometime either later on this week or next week, so we can do part 2 of the Austin Powers Crash Course. So y'all stay tuned. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment of any other older series that y'all want us to watch, man. Whether it's I don't know, like an old show or an older movie or any new stuff coming out that y'all would like for us to go over. Whatever it is, just leave that hole in the comment section, and we'll definitely shout out that.
In the works, bro.
Most definitely. All right, man. That has been another episode of the Real Rap Coalition Crash Course Edition, and we will see y'all next time. Fuck it up.